SeptumSin versus the world. It's that place for all the boys and girls. You'll feel real safe, you'll feel real warm. It's a cozy place to ride out the storm. SeptumSin! SeptumSin and his best boy Jake see the trends that scare us every day. Physical media is going to the side. Doctor streaming will rule the world in time. SeptumSin! SeptumSin versus the world. It's that place for all the boys and girls. You'll feel real safe, you'll feel real warm. It's a cozy place to ride out the storm. SeptumSin!
Greetings, everyone! Welcome to another episode of SeptumSin versus the world. I'm SeptumSin. This is Kotobuki Jake.
Hi.
And we're here to show you what we got.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. Oh boy.
That never gets old. Mainly because we don't play it every time anymore. But it does feel good in some level.
Indeed.
For those of you who were here with us last week, well, with me last week, Dave and I went through a lot of nostalgia.
Okay.
And I guess part of that's there because the other part of the Prime sale arrived, and a Kino sale. And then I've got a couple other items that I mixed in just for funsies.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright, so I guess, speaking of nostalgia, for those of you who are around in the 20s,
I know I was.
we have a movie that I walked in the door, he gives me a movie, so I'm like, okay, that works. I guess this was from the Kino sale.
Mm-hmm.
This is a movie called The Trap. Stars Lon Chaney, 1922. I have never seen this movie. I think I've heard of it, but always good. Chaney is a very well-known thespian from back in the day. And it's always nice to get those old movies. It really adds an element to the collection that's missing from most people's collections. So, glad to have it. Thank you.
Technically I had a copy of it, and I didn't realize I had a copy of it.
That happens.
Which I should have checked on the app, but I didn't think I had the copy. But in all fairness, I didn't waste any more than $5 on it, so, you know, that's not too bad.
Well, it's like I went to 2nd and Charles yesterday, and one of the things they took from me, the one Blu-ray they took this time, was Paprika, which was another one that I had purchased thinking, oh, I don't have this yet. Actually, I thought I still had it on DVD, but I had already converted the DVD to Blu-ray.
Already did the upgrade.
Yeah.
Well, this one is technically one item, but I decided I would just go ahead and show all the stuff that pertains to one thing. Like, I figure that's just how it goes. If they can be grouped together, I'll group them together. Because I've got, as we look in front at the entire shelving of stuff that I've got for pickups, no harm. So, there's a theme. We'll start with South Park, the end of obesity, which, by the way, is South Park. This is the Ozempic episode where Cartman realizes maybe I can be thin, but unfortunately a bunch of moms wanted to basically become a heist group, and apparently Randy was somehow roped into the Ozempic moms group, as they raided various chemicals and sources to try and all get that extra thinness. Now, I showed this to Kim. We both watched it together because, that's just something that she would find funny. And this is probably the most recent South Park thing I've watched. I've been off and on about watching South Park, but I've been trying to kind of keep up with it. They've been doing some stuff lately that's kind of got some legal stuff going. But I think they're fully separating from Max or Paramount or whatever. Paramount's like really losing a lot of stuff.
Oh, geez, yeah.
But I have a feeling that Paramount is really starting to take a bath.
Yeah. Well, apparently they're trying to have a merger with a company that's not as tolerant of these things.
Well, the next one is South Park, not suitable for children. Cred. That's one of the...
Because most of South Park is quite suitable for children.
So this is based off, of course, of the Prime drinks that are out there. And this is a bunch of those episodes that were fun. Eventually I'm going to watch all of my season episodes and see how many of these are just repeats, and then my collection of the repeats from the story. Joining the Panderverse, which is interesting. You know, I thought this one was an interesting way of talking about how things are. And yes, I don't... The problem with a lot of the people who are against pandering in movies is that they're against it in a way that makes me not want to agree with them. They take out their items of, well, let's just say they're T-shaped items that they like to set on fire in people's yards and, you know, go at it. Well, I don't really want to get in with those people. But I do agree that there is a level, there's what they call representation and pandering. We want representation. People should not want pandering.
Right.
And this one actually draws that line pretty well. So I was actually pretty happy with that. Alright. The South Park post-COVID, where you see in the future, apparently, Cartman becomes a rabbi.
Okay.
So, I've never seen this one, but I am curious about it. It looks fun. Alright. South Park. Complete 26th season. Where Cartman moves into the giant hot dog. I don't remember. See, like I said, I gotta just sit down and watch South Park. Season 25. Say more. There's where Cartman is living currently in the series.
Yeah.
So that one's also pretty cool. But there's more. Season 24. Season 23. I think this one's the one that introduced Tegrity Farms, which was, to me, a mistake. That they have with Randy and Towley getting together and buying a weed farm, which that's now where the Marshes live.
Okay.
And then I finally upgraded the South Park movie, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut to Blu-ray, which I actually did see in theaters when it came out.
Okay.
It is a funny story because it was playing in the same theater that was also showing Muppets from Space. And when we got in early, and they were running the credits from Muppets from Space, and there were still a few little kids that were left in the theater that were trying to stay over to the next film, but their parents grabbed them. So it was just me and two of my friends that watched the movie together. We were alone in the theater.
Good times.
But we were so taken aback by all the cursing they did, because cartoons, they didn't curse like that back then.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was some force. Okay, that's, as I said, that was a big bundle.
Okay. So, my next one, I think I've got the order right here. I just threw them in a bag, so hopefully this will work. I should be showing a bunch of used stuff. I think I've mentioned before that somewhere a few months back, we got a lot of Blu-rays donated at the library, which of course we can't really do anything with Blu-rays because we don't circulate them. And I claimed a number of them, and I think we'll be starting with a few of those. And the first one, this is a movie called The Pawnbroker. It's a Sidney Lumet film from 1965, so this is also an older movie. And it co-stars Rod Steiger, he from In the Heat of the Night. You've got Brock Peters, Jamie Sanchez, Geraldine Fitzgerald. Music by Quincy Jones. So, interesting pedigree. This was actually apparently an Oscar nominee, supporting actor for Rod Steiger. I don't know this movie. I think I know of it, but that's about it. But I saw an opportunity to get it pretty darn cheap, and I was like, well, yeah. So hopefully I'll get to it sooner or later.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So I decided, you know what, I'm going to get the other outlier. Because after this, everything is from Prime Day sale or from the Kino sale.
Mm-hmm.
So this is some City Hunter upgrades.
Ah.
This one is the City Hunter movie and TV special collection,
Okay.
which this was a huge set of savings. I don't know if you remember how many discs those things took up.
It was
they
a
were
bunch.
just like that. So
Yeah.
now it's just one little
Yeah.
thing. So that was a big space saver.
Mm-hmm.
There's City Hunter 91,
Mm-hmm.
which was a much smaller space saver.
Yeah.
The ones that saved the most were the City Hunting Season 1 and 2. Those boxes were just like that much. And then City Hunter 3.
Mm-hmm.
The only regret I have is that they didn't finish the City Hunter story, where two of the characters get married, which is kind of cool to see at the end. But it did not. 91 did not end it like that,
Okay.
which is too bad in a lot of ways. So City Hunter, for those of you who don't know, it's about this guy named Ryo Saiba, who is a mercenary essentially, and he is extremely good with guns.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, he's also a major pervert.
Mm-hmm.
And that leads him into multiple levels of trouble.
And he has a very jealous and possessive girlfriend, I guess.
Well, she's not his girlfriend technically, she's his partner. But
Oh, yeah.
she does get very jealous and possessive of him. The Jackie Chan movie was not that far off, but it went off a little ways. So
Right.
she was his old partner's daughter, and they have that kind of... It's a kind of romantic comedy relationship where it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Or it's actually, with this series, it's more of 2 steps forward and then 1.99 steps back.
Sounds good.
But I like City Hunter. I'm glad to have it all on Blu-ray now. There are no DVDs I have left in that series, so that's cool.
Good times. Next up, we've got Oka. Okay. I actually don't know crap about this one.
What's it say on the back?
25 years ago, ethnomusicologist Louis Sarno traveled from New Jersey to the forests of Central Africa to record the music of the Bayaka Pygmies. He fell in love with the people, their music, their lifestyle, and a local girl. Despite his failing health and harsh realities of life in the village, he followed the Bayaka into the heart of the forest. So, it's written and directed by Lavinia Currier, or Currier, probably. Chris Marshall co-stars in there, William Lee, a few other folks. This one actually, it's a Welgo USA, and they are known for putting out a lot of really random international stuff. This looks like it's an international production. French, English, and Aka are the spoken languages. And it is essentially at least an African co-production, which is very unusual, really, in terms of what most people ever get to see. So I saw this and I was like, I need to get this, if only just to add something different to the collection. I don't know when I'll get to it, but I'm definitely glad it is there, and I hope to get to it eventually.
Well, the rest of these are singles, pretty much.
Okay.
So this one here is from the Kino sale.
Okay.
You know, sometimes when you're looking at the Kino sale and you get stuff because certain actors are in the film,
Right.
and you're like, I don't think I've ever watched this or even heard of this film. I think I've heard of this film, but I know I haven't watched it, but I had to get it because of one of the actors.
Okay.
And that is The Best of Times, which has Reno Hightower and Jack... Okay, no, it doesn't. It has Robin Williams and Kurt Russell, which I've never heard of this. Actually, no, sorry. I've heard of this in passing.
Right.
Because it's like a college comedy.
Right.
But I've never seen it. Is it college or is it...
I think it is.
Let's see.
They definitely look too old to be high schoolers.
Yeah. Okay. The Underdog Taft High Challenge.
Oh.
Okay, so maybe
it is
high school. So they're very old high schoolers.
Right.
Failed a lot as they went on, apparently.
See, this is actually a 21 Jump Street spinoff.
Oh, wait, never mind. This is all about something that happened a long time ago, and then 13 years later, they want a chance to redeem themselves. So they're coming back. Okay, so yeah. You know, I'm curious about it.
Right.
I'd never heard of it. It's a 1986 film, so it's kind of in Robin Williams' prime movie-making career as far as making constant comedies.
Getting there.
And Russell was pretty... Actually, Russell had already been big.
That was about the
while,
height of his career.
It wasn't the height of Williams' career, but definitely he was very active in the film business at that time.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. Next up, we've got a movie that says here on the front, most powerful war film since Saving Private Ryan. I don't know about that. But it's called My Way. It's from the director of Taegugi, The Brotherhood of War. His name apparently is Kang Jae-kyu. And it is a film about a Korean who dreams of becoming the Korean gold medalist marathoner. Meanwhile, there is a childhood friend who is one of the top marathoners in Japan. And they find themselves dealing with war. Both of them fighting for Japan, apparently during World War II. Oh, wait a minute. Well, apparently they start in Japan. It says Japan, the Soviet Union, Germany, and ultimately they show up in Normandy.
Oh.
Interesting storyline there.
A bad side to be on if you're in New
It is. Now, I'll admit, I have never heard of this before, but this is also a Well Go USA release. And I have not only heard of, I have seen Taegugi, The Brotherhood of War. It's a really solid film. So, I'm definitely curious about this. I don't know. I'm obviously, I'll be honest, I'm not going to be in any hurry to see this, especially because it's 2.5 hours long.
What?
But I'm glad to have it, and maybe one day I'll get around to it. I have Taegugi on DVD, so I will eventually need to upgrade it to Blu-ray. So maybe when it's upgraded, I'll be curious enough to come back. We'll see.
All right. So, my next one is an Alfred Hitchcock film. I've been trying to upgrade my Alfred Hitchcock stuff to... not all of it to Blu-ray because I love that one set I've got somewhere. It's back here somewhere. There, right there.
Okay.
It's such a cool
fuzzy.
set. And the Blu-ray set does not look as good.
No.
So, and you know what? The quality is fine for those. But the other set I have about his earlier British stuff is garbage. They have the worst transfers. Many of them don't even play all the way through.
Yeah.
I've got it because there are a couple of those movies that I do not have and are not available any other way. Like, say, Juno and the Paycock is a good example. But this one is Blackmail. This is a 1929 film from master of suspense Alfred Hitchcock, the legendary director of Notorious, Lifeboat, North by Northwest, and Psycho. I've seen one of those. Comes this thriller.
Seen one of those?
Yes, I've not seen.
Wow.
Yeah, I've not seen North by Northwest.
I've seen 3 of those.
Comes the thriller about a woman fighting off a sleazy blackmailer. I have seen Blackmail, by the way. Blackmail was Hitchcock's first full-length sound film, and was his only. Was only his second foray into the suspense genre. So it is kind of cool to see it. It's great for history. I like that Kino does a good job with the restoration work.
Right.
It is a good film, and I did enjoy it the first time I watched it. This time I might enjoy it better because it'll be in better quality.
Good times.
So it is cool to have that.
So you said that was part of that set that you had?
Yep, that's part of that set. It is an ugly set.
Yeah.
I might get it as reference because I think I have another one from that set in there. But go ahead.
The next one. Okay. Now this one is a multi-film set. Now I'll admit, back in the day, I did not want for multi-film sets. I don't like the way they look on the shelf. I feel like they kind of cheapen the movies a little bit. But, my God, they're good space savers. And unfortunately, that has become important. I know I had one of these on DVD. I'm not positive on the second. I know I do not have the third of the 3. And this is a really random set, so I don't like the randomness of it. But I saw an opportunity to grab a thin collection with 3 movies I needed to own, and I jumped on it. And so it's a 3-movie set with My Cousin Vinny, Back to School, and City Slickers. And I actually don't think I've ever seen Back to School all the way through. I don't have it. I was never a huge Rodney Dangerfield fan, but it's certainly one of his most famous films. I do not know offhand. I think I own My Cousin Vinny on DVD, but I can't swear to it. It's a fun movie. Marissa Tomei gets a lot of flack for winning an Oscar for it, and they probably could have chosen better, but she is a solid actress. And City Slickers is a classic. There's also a little bit of a debate over whether Jack Palance should have won for that particular role. But regardless, they're all excellent films. Like I said, I know I had City Slickers on DVD, and I think I had My Cousin Vinny. So this is absolutely a space saver. Picking up Back to School into the bargain and upgrading them all to Blu-ray. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's kind of sad I'm doing the opposite as expanding, but it's rare that I do. But this set is such garbage.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's not great.
It has 12 of his films on there. Young and Innocent, Blackmail, Juno and the Paycock, Rich and Strange, The Ring, The Lodger, Secret Agent, Lady Vanishes, Man Who Knew Too Much, the first version, not the second one, because he did 2 of those. Sabotage, Champagne, and Murder. I've got a number of these now, but...
in fairness, it's not as garbage as the 4-movie collection I picked up for $1 in a grocery store.
You can see how they're the double-sided.
They're not great.
And many of them are in bad condition. It's just... Yeah, there are better ways of getting this. Right. I've got this other one out for reference for another thing that I'm doing. So this is one of the first ones from the Prime deal that I have.
Okay.
I'm debating whether to try and collect the whole series of this, or whether I think a taste will be all I need. I really feel like in a lot of these nostalgia trips, a taste is really all you need.
Right.
So I'm probably just going to stay with this unless I watch it and I'm just like, oh my god, this is so good. I don't think it's going to be. But that is Challenge of the GoBots.
Alright!
The, I guess the low-rent Transformers. But I used to watch these all the time growing up. And this is the collection of the original OVA, or sorry, not OVA, miniseries.
Right.
Might as well be OVA. But, so the one the first one before it got to the main TV series.
Okay.
So, this has like 3 or 4 episodes on it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 episodes. And I wonder if this is all I really need. I'm going to watch this eventually, and then when I watch it, if I really love it, and I really need more GoBots in my life. I don't know why I would say that, but if I do,
You never know.
I can try and seek out the rest of the series, because the rest of the series is available on DVD, but they are starting to go out of print.
Okay.
So prices, I'm not sure I'm willing to pay.
Okay.
But it's kind of cool to have this. I got this really cheap. I got it for like under $5. So yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. The next one is, okay, so this is a movie I had to have for reasons. I am no longer strictly adhering to my previous goal of getting all the Oscar nominees into my collection. But I still look for opportunity. If I see an opportunity to grab one cheaply. This is a movie, for those of you who are unfamiliar, Mike Leigh is a British director who is all about character pieces. He is famous for dipping deep into a character's daily life. And I almost said daily routine. That's actually not far off. He had exactly what I think I've seen 4 of his films, maybe 5. I've seen, well, at least 4. And I really enjoyed his Ode to Gilbert and Sullivan, Topsy Turvy. That was a fun movie. It was a fun movie. Vera Drake was good, whatever. This one got a lot of Oscar praise, a lot of awards buzz. And it's appropriate that it's about a painter because it's about as exciting as watching paint dry. And that is the movie Mr. Turner, which features Timothy Spall as the titular Mr. Turner.
Oh, that's your
It is, they call it a beautifully shot epic. It is beautifully shot. It is a very lovely looking film. And I have to be happy with the fact that I want to make sure I'm remembering this correctly. Okay, never mind. I am mistaken on that. Never mind. But the music got a lot of buzz, and it was by Gary Yershon. It was good music. Overall, good, solid film from a technical standpoint, and it was a pretty decent film from most viewpoints, except for entertaining. This was a boring as shit movie. But
art is boring.
yes. But Mike Leigh is a very gifted director generally. He's a highly acclaimed director, and me being the art fan that I am, especially a movie that is basically meant to be an ode to art, I had to have it, but I didn't want to pay a lot for it. So when I found it dirt cheap, I was like, hell yeah, I'm getting this for the $2 or $3 it's going to cost me. So,
Hey, yeah, that's
and I will concede it will probably get a Criterion upgrade eventually, because this probably will eventually get a Criterion release.
But it can wait.
It can wait, yes. This is a good placeholder.
So, there are some series that are all about some things like a different thing in the series.
Mm-hmm.
Be it like an actor, be it a particular artist. Some, however, are purely because the opening theme song is an earworm that still can't leave my head like 30 years later. And I was like, okay, this is under $10. I'm going to get it and add it to the collection. And that is the cartoon Denver, the Last Dinosaur.
Oh god.
It's a series that the theme song gets in your freaking head, and it just sits in my head forever. Even looking at it slightly or seeing it, the theme song comes to mind. Now that is a well-crafted theme song.
And for those of you who somehow escaped this when it first came out, this is a movie for kids of the 90s.
Series.
Who love series.
50 episodes, good God.
Oh dear God, I don't remember that. There were a lot of shows from the 90s that were very dim in my far back memory, but this was one of them because it's a dinosaur. Who wouldn't like that?
I mean, okay, most cartoon shows that went into syndication in my youth were like 10 episodes, and they just ran the same episodes over and over again, and we didn't know better. Why is this one 50 episodes?
I mean, hell, Batman the Animated Series was just over that. What was it, like 52?
Yeah, which was 4 seasons, so still.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's weird.
Dang.
Well,
I don't remember it being that long.
It's a fairly nice looking, very colorful on the cover there. But basically, Denver the Last Dinosaur is about these kids. They're these really cool 90s teens, which I was a 90s teen. So, you know, we had so much alike. And
he's your friend and a whole lot more.
That was the creepy part of the song. That's the X-rated version. We still haven't gotten yet. But they go to this construction site after being chased by bullies or some weird stuff, or corporate evil people. I don't know. It's usually corporate evil people, which is weird because all this stuff was done when corporations were ruling it all. But then you get there and it's this dinosaur egg and it hatches.
Like when they were?
Yeah, well, okay. Well, it was more overt in the 80s. You know, greed is good. And and this is early 80s, early 90s, sorry. Late 80s, early 90s. Yeah, 88. So, yeah. So, you know, then they ended up finding this dinosaur egg, and then, you know, he hatched out of it. And then, you know, he does all the things that 90s kids like to do: skateboard, wear sunglasses, you know, play rock and roll music. You know, that's how it was. That's how it was back then. You know, all the cool characters, they all had electric guitar, they had the sunglasses, they skateboarded.
Yeah.
But actually, that is sadly true. Even The Simpsons, which was born in the 80s, it's the same stuff. Ay caramba!
Yeah.
All right, well, that's that. So, Denver the Last Dinosaur.
All right. Next up. Okay, this I cannot claim nostalgia because this is new to me. But they call it 8K. Good times. But this is a... Okay. This, I don't know what this is, but it looks interesting. But it's called Baraka. And essentially, it's apparently filmed across 24 countries. It's a, quote, transcendent global tour that explores the sights and sounds of the human condition like nothing you've ever seen or felt before.
Oh, wow.
So my guess is that this would fit probably into the documentary category, but I do not know what this will end up being like. But it looks interesting, and it looks like it might be worth having it in the collection. So
I've got 5 cents or so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Because I realized that one of mine probably should be presented as one item instead of 2. I went ahead and pulled something else so I can get it off the shelf.
Okay.
And that is a double Cleopatra set here. So we've got the Elizabeth Taylor, Richard Burton Cleopatra, which most people are familiar with when it comes to it. I think it's Oscar winning. Actually, these are both Oscar winning. But, I mean, Cleopatra is one of the characters in history that was well obsessed over, especially by these directors at the time. What was the director that did this one? It got 4 Academy Awards:
That
art
was
direction,
a well-known director from
cinematography, costume design, and special effects, which means that it was a loser. Let's see here. Who the hell directed this?
Is it on the interior package?
Let's see here. I was thinking it would be like, oh, maybe it's down here? Okay.
That's what I was saying.
Directed by Joseph L. Mankiewicz.
That's what I was thinking.
So this is an epic, by the way. Very much epic. I didn't bother. This should be upgraded probably to 4K or something because of how big the special effects were. 248 minutes long. So I say epic, it's epic. I have seen this, but many years ago. I've owned this copy for a long time, and I still had not actually presented it here. So in a way, it's good.
Right.
The next one I've actually owned even longer than that, and that is Cecil B. DeMille's Cleopatra. That's the 75th anniversary edition. Man, it's even older now. This thing originally came out in 1934.
Oh my.
So it is almost 100 years old now.
Oh wow.
Less than 10 years from now, it'll be 100.
That's wow. Oh wow, I didn't even think about that. I guess this one's now 103 years old.
Yeah, that's...
Wow.
We're getting a lot of films now that are in the hundreds now, which...
Yeah.
When I was a kid, the film itself was not even 100 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the 1890s when the first films started coming out, and it was only like snippets. We're talking like Edison Lab and stuff like that.
Right.
It wasn't until the early 1900s that you started to see it come out, and then it was the 1910s where we actually started seeing real films come to light. Now we're over 100 years into film.
Yeah.
But this one, I mean, Cecil B. DeMille is one that's known. I mean, there's actually one particular movie, Sunset Boulevard, who has that famous line, "Give me my close-up, Mr. DeMille."
Yeah. I'm ready for my close-up.
I'm ready for it, yeah. And this one is one of those that was well known for the giant lavish sets. And this movie actually does have some pieces of the lavish sets left over near the Chinese Theater in LA. They were so big.
Yeah.
So it would be worth seeing just for that. I can't tell you if I've ever watched it. No, I can't. I've never watched it. But
Yeah,
I want to watch it. I mean, I love the way they did
Is
the
that
cover.
what as long as the other one is?
Oh no, it's an hour and 52.
Okay.
So, not even 2 hours.
Ah.
So, one worth watching. I think I'll have to put this in one of these days just so I can do it.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
Need to do them back to back.
Oh, good lord. Well, at least I can say I've seen the other
Right,
one.
right. So next up, okay, this is one I've certainly heard about many a time, but I've never seen it. And that's a Richard Harris movie called A Man Called Horse. Have you
No, I just
heard
it's the
this
name.
Okay.
That's Forrest.
Richard Harris stars in this carefully documented epic that attempted to realistically portray the life of the American Sioux in the early 19th century when an English lord, Harris, is captured by the Sioux tribe. He's given to the chief's aging mother, Dame Judith Anderson, so not the best casting there, as a servant. Anyway, so this was probably one of those, shall we say, well-intentioned movies that maybe hasn't aged as well as we would like, but it was Actually, this might be an interesting one to look at in light of right now we're looking at the Godfather films on the movie channel, Instant Movies Galore, and Marlon Brando famously or infamously, depending on where you fall, rejected his Best Actor Oscar as a protest against the portrayal of Native Americans in film.
Yeah.
And I wonder how this film fits into that narrative. I don't really know. But I do know that this, like I said, this is a well-known film. Harris is a very talented director, actor.
He could have been a talented director. We don't know.
Could have been. And one of these days, I do need to see this. And again, I saw an opportunity to grab it, and I was like, yeah, I should have it, if only for the historical
of course.
element.
Well, I mean, of course, but who would talk to a horse, of course?
Of course.
Unless he's a man called Horse.
Yes.
So, any case, this one is a double because it's the movie and its sequel.
Mm-hmm.
I think we covered this years ago on Inside Movies Galore. Back in the days of raunchy cartoons, this is a R. Crumb creation. One of his famous ones that he ended up hating after a while because of this. And that is Fritz the Cat. I went ahead and upgraded my beaten up DVD copy so that I could have a copy. It's alright. I mean, it's basically a cartoon that is definitely dirty, it's slutty, it's kind of nasty in many ways. Fritz is a bit of a sex fiend and a bit of a deadbeat, and he just wanted to get some tail in the life, in one of his 9 lives. And the art style is definitely Crumb's style, but Crumb has repeatedly said that he had nothing to do with the movie, and he was glad that he has not. Actually, I don't even know if Rock Crumb is still alive. He was for a while. Lord knows I watched that damn documentary a lot.
Right.
He also hated the trucking one. That I think Keep on Trucking. He also hated that. Also that he had the artwork for.
Right.
The other one is 9 Lives of Fritz the Cat. Now this one is weird.
Yeah.
A lot of people prefer this one. But I actually prefer this one because it just is very weird. As you get to see Fritz the Cat kind of go on this weird psychedelic jaunt through time and the different lives and different worlds. And it's just this kind of this really cool oddball of a film. Now this one came out, Fritz the Cat came out in 1972. And 9 Lives came out in 74. So they're not far removed from the 60s. And a lot of the psychedelic parts of the 60s, really as we know it, people look at the 60s as all that, but really the first 5 years of the 60s look more like the 50s. It was really kind of 65 to 75 that is the 60s as we know it. So it kind of still has that feel from those days. So it's just kind of cool. Maybe I'll use. Nah, I don't want to use.
Well, it's kind of like you were talking earlier. Denver the Last Dinosaur has a few 80s feelings to it as well. All right, so my next one is I think another Welgo. Yeah, this is another Welgo USA release. It's called Let the Bullets Fly, and it stars Chow Yun-fat, Shang Wen, and Galore, and also stars some other folks in there too. Feng Zhaogang is in there. It's a Zhang Wen directed film. So basically it's in Mandarin, maybe a little bit of English in there. And from as far as I can tell, this, I think it's Hong Kong set. But anyway, when legendary bandit Paki Zhang violently crosses paths with a con man, Tang, he is offered an intriguing proposition: become the governor of Goosetown and make more money in a month than a year of train robberies. But neither realizes that Goosetown is already under the iron rule of Master Huang.
Don't fuck with
Who's,
Goosetown.
well, especially when it's under the rule of Chow Yun-fat. But basically, I don't know this one, but I saw it and I was like, that looks fun. So it's always worth. Chow Yun-fat is he's great. He's a great actor, and he's usually pretty solid in these kind of films. And who doesn't love their Chinese action flicks? So
It looks entertaining.
yeah. So I threw that.
And just
in
for the
there.
name Goosetown, it's worth checking out.
Exactly.
I want to go to Goosetown.
Really.
So, I usually don't get all of these. There are some people who really are big in collecting that Lionsgate, like MVD or whatever it is, like things,
Right.
which they have some fun ones that they did, like Little Monsters and some of those. That's the one that always comes to mind is Little Monsters because that's the one first one I got. This one cost me a little bit because it's limited, but I wanted it because I wanted to upgrade my copy because I have it. I have this it's only been available on a multi-pack that's also out of print. Which I have the multi-pack, but I really don't like it because it's one of those cheap multi-packs.
Right.
And I've got all the other films. I got the first 2 films on a Blu-ray. I do have the 4th film. It's on a DVD. So I'm hoping they'll eventually upgrade to Blu-ray. But finally, I have Ghoulies 3. Ghoulies Go to School. On Blu-ray.
Okay.
The Vestron video.
Go to college.
Go to college, sorry. And I've never seen it. I've never seen Ghoulies 3 or 4. I own Ghoulies 3 and 4. I own 3 again for this, so I own it twice. I need to watch them because I've heard they're kind of fun. They don't take themselves nearly as seriously as the first 2. The second one is my favorite Ghoulies out of the 2 that I've seen. Essentially, it is that full moon going at it with these little monsters that come out of toilets and kill people. It's, the second one was where they actually went into a cheap haunted house at a carnival. They took residents there and started killing people for real, which I thought was really cool. And I'm not really sure about this. I guess they go on and they harass people in college. So, but I love the cover art. The cover art's really good on that. Yeah. So, see how they got the toilet there?
Yeah.
They got some special features. They got audio commentaries, some interviews, some Ghoulies and gags behind the screenplay. Ghoulies Go to College, Out of the Bulb, Making of the Monsters. So some fun stuff. Ghoulies is a pretty cool series, and this one came out, in the 90s? Yep, 91.
Okay.
I seem to have like a thing that's going to be another showcase one.
Alright, so my next one, I think the rest of what I have is going to be straight up conversions, but in this case, it's a conversion plus 1. So, as we've said before on the channel, if you watched our previous pickups, when Disney Movie Club shuttered, unfortunate, they did do a few nice on the way out deals, and I picked up a bunch of stuff. One thing that I picked up a lot of was 2 film sets that included a few of the classic films combined with the live action upgrade. A lot of their films I had on DVD, so they needed a Blu-ray upgrade anyway, and I never really wanted to waste space on those live action ones.
Yeah.
But getting a Blu-ray that has, or a single size Blu-ray that has both, I could do that. And one that I wanted to get was not part of the sale. Now, I have very, 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 very mixed feelings about Second and Charles. It can be a fun place to shop for movie geeks and, well, media geeks generally. Because there's a lot there to cover.
Print and so on.
And every now and then you can find some really good deals there.
But you gotta scour.
Most of the time, yeah, you gotta hunt, and most of the time the deals are but you can find fun stuff regardless. But when it comes to getting stuff for your trade-ins, my God, they're cheap. And but I am actively trying to convert DVDs to Blu-ray and to save space.
Yeah.
And I'm also not really interested in all the hoops and hurdles that eBay has put up. Not to mention how hard it is to sell on eBay under the best of times. And my friends have not done a great job of claiming stuff. So I ended up with a big pile of stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm going to take it, see what I can get. And then the next week, I did it again. And the first time, I took credit. The second time, I took cash. So I didn't get a lot. But, oh God, and I forgot to bring the really cool thing. Next time, I'm going to bring the really cool thing. But I did, my credit was about $40 for a lot of stuff. But I got something really cool at basically half price. I'll present it next time. The other thing I went ahead and got while I was there, because it was not super expensive, was one of those Disney Blu-ray 2-packs. Aladdin, along with the live-action version.
Ah, that's why you had the other one.
Aladdin is absolutely a classic. Parts of it have not aged beautifully. In fact, one of the songs was so off from the get-go that they immediately changed it. And I don't think you will ever see the original version under most circumstances. But it's a movie that's deeply nostalgic for me. It did give us some great music. A suitably amusing or suitably vile villain in Jafar. And Genie is one of Robin Williams' great roles. There are no two ways about it. The remake put Will Smith in that role. And Mr. Smith wisely decided not to copy Robin Williams. His version is it's okay. But at least he didn't try to copy Robin Williams. I really liked that they gave Jasmine a song. It annoys the crap out of me that the live-action remakes have butchered the villain songs, because villain songs are such a big part. And they Jafar had half a song to begin with, and they took it away. In fact, Jafar in the remake is kind of neutered, is probably the best way to put it. It's an okay remake. It's a weird-ass film from Guy Ritchie, let's put it that way. But anyway, again, I had an a large DVD of the first film. This saves space and picks up another film. I can do that. That's not a problem. And I'm, glad I got it.
So, this next one is a Prime Day one. It's all Prime Day and Kino from here on out.
Okay.
The Ghoulies was that weird oddball. Because I had to order it directly from Lionsgate because I couldn't get anywhere else.
Right.
But this one is another one of those nostalgic childhood cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
This is, speaking of inappropriate, Hong Kong Phooey.
I do not know this one.
One of the things I always think about is, yes, the song is fairly iconic as far as how it is, but the one that was even better is when they did the cartoon covers from the era. They used to play it at Jack's all the time. The ones I remember the most are the Banana Splits theme. I can't remember who did the cover on that one. And the cover of this one that Sublime did the cover from.
Okay.
So, which is pretty cool. He's basically the superhero dog that uses his kung fu skills to take on evil.
Okay.
It's a fun Hanna-Barbera one. Like, here's another example. Hong Kong Phooey. I thought there were millions of episodes, only 16. Yet, 50. 50. 60. 50. What the heck?
Go figure.
But I guess he needed a skateboard. But I like this one. It was fun when I was a kid. I do look forward to checking it out. And with 16 episodes, it's not going to be one that takes up my entire day watching. Lord knows, I sat there through Spartacus and The Sun Beneath the Sea for ages to get through it. This one won't take me hardly. GoBots won't take me a long time. Lord help me for being the last dinosaur when I tackle that. Oh,
Good times. All right. So this is one that I do have I did see a long time ago, but not quite when I was a kid. I'm pretty sure the remainder of what I have, like I said, all conversions. I'm pretty sure all I have left are purchases from the Criterion July sale from this year. Weirdly enough, I did 2 purchases, and they were back to back. And the first one, which was promised to me on Friday, has not arrived yet. But the second one, not counting a pre-order of an item that comes out tomorrow, arrived Saturday. So I already have that one. And we're going to start with that. And we're going to start with a movie that has been around for some time. I had this on DVD. I'm honestly surprised it took me so long to upgrade it to Criterion. And that is The Manchurian Candidate.
Ah, good one.
Yeah, very solid film from back in the day, 1962. John Frankenheimer directed, I believe. And it co-stars Lawrence Harvey, Frank Sinatra, and Angela Lansbury in what is widely considered one of her most villainous roles. Pretty solid addition. This one does have a few bonus features. Not quite as many as I would expect from this particular film. But, you know, good solid film. Oh yeah, Janet Leigh's in there. I forgot she was in there. And of course, given everything going on in the world right now, it might be good to hit some of the political classics, you know?
Get them in the collection while they're still good.
Definitely good to get this one, yeah.
I have a copy of it, but it's not the Criterion version. I have both, that one and the remake with Denzel, which is the only one I've seen.
I've never seen the remake, and I don't remember if I have a copy.
So, I brought out Mask from last week because this was by far the most expensive thing I got on the Prime thing because it's out of print. But they did put it on the Prime sale, so I had to get. And why is it expensive? It was expensive anyway because it was a Shout Factory release. And believe it or not, I still got it cheaper than the $100 they originally put it up for when it was in print. Matter of fact, I got this for a little under $50. Actually, less than that. I think it was $40. And
not terrible.
This was one I'd been debating for a long time because I watched the heck out of this. I had the toys from this. I was big on that series. But the other one that I got here, which is the second most expensive, not as expensive as this, it was like $30 or so, was Jem and the Holograms, the truly outrageous collection. I don't know if you remember. Do you know Jem and the Holograms?
I know of it. I don't think I ever saw it. I remember that movie didn't go over well.
No, it did not. So this one basically, I mean, she's like this, they have these it's magical girls, essentially.
Oh.
It's old school magical girls, except it's American version of magical girls. And they turn into these rock stars that can fight crime and stop evil. And the evil ones are all these punk rock girls that are always behind the nefarious deeds. And I remembered it was fairly good. It was one of the girls' cartoons that a lot of boys were also into. And I'm kind of glad to get this. I had been debating getting this in the collection for ages, but I'm actually kind of happy to have it in the collection now. It's just one of those. It was a fun series. I was happy to have it, and I know exactly where I put it on the shelf, so I can do that right now. So, Jim and the Holograms. And I also remember that. I don't remember Mask's theme song, but I remember this one's theme song. It was truly outrageous.
All right. Next up, speaking of truly outrageous, tonight, well, some people would say it's truly outrageous. I'm not going to go that far, but tonight, it probably won't be tonight when you guys watch this, but for us, we'll be discussing the third film in the Godfather series, The Godfather Part 3, appropriately. And that film gets a bad rap from a lot of people. It doesn't deserve most of the bad rap it gets, but there were a few issues with it, and some of them involved casting. And one of the controversies was, why is Robert Duvall not here? But one of them was one of the, what is widely regarded one of the worst cases of nepotism in Hollywood.
Oh, God.
Where Francis Ford Coppola gave the central, critical role of Mary Corleone to his daughter Sofia Coppola. Sofia Coppola is not known as an actress for good reason.
Best actor, best in the whole movie, best performance.
She was cute, but she absolutely was not the film's strong point. Let's put it that way.
She did a great job at the very end.
However, she has since gone on to become a very highly regarded director. And Lost in Translation is one of the great films. And I'm honestly astonished that it does not have a Criterion release yet.
Yeah.
I will be upgrading when that happens. But a film that was her directorial debut. And I actually did see this in theaters when it came out. And I was like, I had a DVD copy. I'm like, this really needs an upgrade. And I ended up getting it right after rewatching that movie. And I'm like, oh, I love the timing. I'm actually kind of tempted to watch this sometime this week while that's still, to compare and contrast.
But was it truly outrageous?
And that is the movie The Virgin Suicides.
Good one.
Which it's based on a novel by Jeffrey Eugenides. Coppola, the elder Coppola, produced it, but again, written and directed by Sofia Coppola. Co-stars James Woods, Kathleen Turner, Kirsten Dunst, Josh Hartnett, Scott Glenn, Michael Pare, and Danny DeVito. I had forgotten all those people were in there. Narration by Giovanni Ribisi. So, great pedigree here.
What was it about?
Pretty good cast. I mean, pretty good bonus features there. Well, it's okay, with this debut feature, Sofia Coppola announced her singular vision, etc., conjures the ineffable melancholy of teenage longing and ennui in its story of the suicides of the 5 Lisbon sisters, stifled by the rules of their overprotected religious parents.
Stifle.
As told through the collective memory of a group of men who were boys at the time and still yearn to understand what happened. So basically, yeah, you have these 5 ultra-sheltered sisters who ultimately all commit suicide. It's a very cheerful movie.
It is truly outrageous.
But it is beautifully acted, shot. It's very well made. I remember being very impressed when I saw it. I never have read the book, maybe one day. And it was overdue for an upgrade to Criterion and to Blu-ray, so glad to finally get that.
Well, this one is another Hitchcock upgrade. Rich and Strange. Another one I've seen, but I don't remember very well. 1931. Rich and Strange, which sometimes is hard to look up on IMDb because IMDb has it as its original name, East of Shanghai.
As you do.
Is the splendid seafaring comedy from the legendary director Alfred Hitchcock's early years in British film. I forgot he debuted in comedy. I forgot. He was good at comedy when he did it. He didn't do it very often, but he was,
Oh yeah, I mean, The Trouble with Harry is one of the funniest freaking films I think I've ever seen.
But we had Henry Kendall and Joan Barry in this one. They lead a boring existence in the London suburbs when the Hills come into an inheritance from a wealthy uncle. Fred quits his mundane job and they embark on a world cruise to get a taste out of the high life. But all does not go as planned as the couple's voyage becomes fraught with treacherous romantic duplicities. Money does not buy happiness when Hitchcock steers the ship. A visually dazzling and slyly hilarious portrait of a marriage in crisis. Not when I saw it. It wasn't visually staggering. It was kind of like, it was very, very dark and it was hard to see what happened. But yes, so we have this funny film here with English subtitles, so you can hear the stuff going on. But I'm sure this is actually very much better than the other one. But I am curious about that one. Rich and Strange. I like Hitchcock's early work. I think it was good. Some of the original, I like the original Man Who Wasn't There. The Man Who Too Many. Yeah, that one. So some of these are really good. Blackmail is also really good. Murder, which is another one that I upgraded a while back. That one is also very good. And yeah.
Well, I believe The Man Who Wasn't There was partly a nod to Hitchcock.
Yeah.
But at any rate, my next one, this will be another one that, if memory serves, and I'm about 90% on this, 96% on this, we'll say, this was also a debut film. But this came out about 10 years before, actually about 11 or 12 years before the Virgin Suicides. And it's a very different kind of movie, but also a very artsy movie,
For kids.
For kids, yes. A director who, kind of like the elder Coppola, tends to do what he wants to do. And oftentimes it's not what you'd expect based on his previous work. Who tends to be very artsy and gets really impressive casts often to work with him. Is Steven Soderbergh.
Oh, yeah.
And the film that, if I remember correctly, started it all is this one, Sex, Lies, and Videotape.
Ah, good.
1989 film, very short, only 100 minutes long. And it co-stars Andy McDowell, Peter Gallagher, and Laura San Giacomo. We seem to keep seeing her again and again. And also James Spader. And if I remember correctly, the movie strongly focuses on those four. There's hardly anyone else in this movie. There's a decent number of special features there. They have an interesting ultra boxy case for this thing. It's really weird
looking, yeah.
But this one I've had on video because
videotape.
No,
Why with the lies and the
actually,
sex?
I may have had it on videotape at one point. I had this on DVD for a long time. It is definitely worth an upgrade. It's one of those ones I keep coming back to and passing it up and going next time. Next time was this time. But I'm glad to finally have it. I went through a phase where Soderbergh was someone I had tremendous respect for. That's kind of cooled a little bit. It's kind of weird that oftentimes his best films are not the ones that get the Criterion release, but I would like to get more of them. I'd like to see them do a release of Ocean's 11. That was one of his good ones, but But
now I'm crawling on the floor.
Yes, clearly.
Looking for something in particular. You reminded me of something I had said the last time we were on. That if I had something that was due to come up and you were already talking about it, to avoid copying over again.
Okay.
And I swear... Well, I know I have the Virgin Suicides, but I've already covered that one apparently.
Okay.
But there is one that you just mentioned.
Ah,
so that y'all don't get bored. There's my copy
There
of
you
Sex,
go.
Lies, and Videotape. But apparently my
Alright.
copy of The Virgin Suicides must have already been shown.
okay. Alright.
So, this one is another from my childhood, so Prime. And this is another one I will be very upset if it's like 50 episodes long. And that is a series called The Shirt Tales, the complete series.
I swear I read something different when I saw that.
So, this one is... God, how many episodes?
46 episodes.
Oh, good God, why? Why is it 46 episodes?
It's not 50.
Why is it 46 episodes? Okay, this is a group of like these cutesy animals that kind of live in the zoo, and they do these like they're in like a mailbox, and they go fight crime, and they've got magical shirts that give them powers. And so you got Digger the mole, Tig the tiger. I don't remember what the kangaroo was, but it's probably some like Bogey the orangutan, who actually talks like Bogey. Let's see here. Rick Raccoon, Digger Mole. We don't have Rick Raccoon on here.
No.
Mammy Panda.
Oh, Pammy.
Hammy Panda.
Yeah.
Mammy Panda. So that'll be a racial stereotype as well.
Yeah.
And something that's probably a kangaroo stereotype name. Oh yeah, there it is. There's the
Is
raccoon.
it Joey?
Probably like Hoppy or Kanga or Rui or whatever the thing is, you know.
Yeah.
For those of you at home, you're welcome to like type it in the comments.
Park Ranger Mr. Dinkle. There you go.
So, you know, it's a cute with a blend of Batman and Scooby-Doo. That's exactly what I was thinking of when I was remembering this show.
I bet.
I was really on the fence about getting this because like it was in my childhood, but do I really need this in the collection? But it was $3. So
Oh,
I guess
okay.
that's not too bad for the episode count.
Yeah, I
Good
know.
Lord.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, Lord
All
help
right.
me.
This was not $3. Next up, this one actually is considered by many a classic. It's one that I genuinely was a little bit surprised when Criterion announced they were going to release it. Because it's one of those more mainstream kind of movies, but they do that every now and then. They'll surprise
Yes.
you with something a little more mainstream. Again, I had it on DVD. It needed an upgrade to Blu-ray anyway, so I was like, well, hell yeah, I'll get the Criterion edition. And that is a Ridley Scott film, if I remember correctly. Thelma and Louise, which stars Susan Sarandon, Gina Davis. You've also got Brad Pitt in one of his earliest roles. This they call it a sexy star-making turn. But this is a Harvey Keitel is in there as well. This is a solid film. Very enjoyable. Again, 1991. This was a really big deal in the early 90s. I remember this being a movie that was heavily referenced. People loved it. It was a big hit. And people still talk about it. And this film has a lot of bonus features. They really did go all in for this release. So definitely an upgrade from what I had before. Glad I was able to get that done.
It may be on the list for next time. It's been kind of like, I have the DVD, but I didn't like the film overall. Maybe I like it, but I haven't seen it since, because I haven't watched my DVD copy actually.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the film since it came to HBO originally from the theater. So.
Wow.
That's a while back, so maybe my tastes have changed since then.
It's been a minute since I've seen it, but probably not that long.
So here's one I thought I had, but apparently I didn't have. So I'm kind of glad that I've got it upgraded. And that is the John Candy film Summer Rental, Life is a Beach. Now I have seen it, so it is weird that I didn't have it, but it is a fun film, nice little comedy, where you've got... he's a family man. Let's see here. Carl Reiner
Okay.
directed this tale of a family man who takes a vacation from sanity when he takes a lease on a Florida summer rental. So you've got John Candy plays a stressed out air traffic controller whose much needed family holiday yields one hysterical misadventure after another. So it's kind of like Great Outdoors in a lot of ways. This one was 85, so this was still in actually this was in his prime movie career, because his prime movie career was in the mid 80s. So
See, you got Rip Torn in there. That's kind of cool.
there's got some lot of cool stuff in here, yeah.
Music
Cary
by Alan
Green,
Silvestri.
Joey Lawrence, John Larroquette. So yeah, some very fun characters, and I like John Candy in movies. So you can't go wrong if he's mainly in it. There's a couple that he's credited for that he's barely in. That's not, in my opinion, worth it. But this will be fun to watch. I'll enjoy it. But I was surprised why I didn't have it, so I'm kind of glad to get it in the collection.
Okay. I just saw something here that I need to look at real quick. First of all, apparently this film includes Boy and Bicycle from 1965, which is a short film by Ridley Scott. And I love it when they include like stuff like that, random short films and whatnot that you might not have seen or you might not ever get to see otherwise, Short films are hard to find a lot of the time. So that's pretty cool. But the other thing, I just want to confirm that I'm reading this correctly, because sometimes the way they'll mention these on the back, it can be a little hard to, you miss stuff. But I think I'm reading this correctly. Yeah, I did. Okay, so they talk about a documentary here. And a couple of the people they mention in the documentary apparently are not mentioned anywhere else on the disc. One of them is Christopher McDonald, who's really cool. But last week, unfortunately, we lost Michael Madsen. And apparently he was in here too. And I had forgotten all about that. So that's fairly timely. Next up is a film that came out about the same time. I think it was also 91. Yeah, same year. A very charming and funny film that, honestly, I had never heard of until I saw it at the library at our school we used to go to. And I checked it out and I watched it and I'm like, oh, I like this movie. But I was surprised the Criterion chose to release it. And that is a film that I believe was directed by Albert Brooks. Yes, written and directed by Albert Brooks. Also stars Albert Brooks and Meryl Streep. And that's a movie called Defending Your Life.
Ah, good one.
Which also has Rip Torn in it. In a very amusing role, actually. And you got some other folks in there, Lee Grant, Buck Henry, what have you. But basically the idea of it is Brooks plays someone who dies, I believe, in an accident. And he finds himself in Judgment City, which is basically a way station for people who have not yet been assigned a destination. It's very similar in some ways to like a comedic answer to stuff like Death Parade and Angel Beats, something like that, but much more comedic. And then, interestingly enough, it turns into a romantic comedy because he meets another recently departed who's played by Meryl Streep, and they become fast friends and potentially more, but they're already dead. It's a really interesting movie. I enjoyed it. Decent number of special features, a little skimpy by Criterion standards.
Especially since it's been out a while.
Yeah, but still, I was surprised they even released this movie. And I had one of those old school frickin' flipper copies of the DVD. So this is an absolute upgrade in almost every way. Very glad to have it in a more compact, much more sturdy edition. And having the Criterion treatment, definitely a plus.
I admit I did not have my the original the release when I upgraded my copy, because it wasn't an upgrade, it was just a purchase.
Well, that's what I was
So I saw it, I was like, ooh, that film is out. Oh, I remember that film. I want to get it. And so I got it. So that time, that was in the first, that was the last Criterion sale.
Yeah, it's not been out long. I think maybe a year and a half, if that.
So this one is a replacement. This one is I'm doing the opposite of what I should be doing. But I had this.
Yeah.
And I always hated it when I've got one half of this, because it really is kind of a waste that I basically have this double feature set with Great Outdoors and Uncle Buck. And Great Outdoors is my favorite John Candy movie, by the way. There's Don't Come At Me. It's because of nostalgia. Like many people believe Uncle Buck is nostalgic. So when this came out, when Universal did a Blu-ray release, I had to get it, which it was, well worth having. I'm still very happy to have in the collection. So I went ahead and I said, you know what? I'm just going to finally retire this and get this from Kino. So now I have the Blu-ray of Uncle Buck.
Nice.
Doesn't have a lot going on, but it has more special features than this no special features.
Couple of commentary tracks.
Yeah, so,
That's not bad.
And an interview.
Okay.
So, some fun stuff. Uncle Buck is about, Uncle Buck. He is this dude who comes in there and babysits the kids while the parents have to go out. And because of a parent was dying. A parent of a parent was dying. And so this guy, John Candy, plays this uncle that's kind of this dude who's this kind of, gambles, smokes, drinks, kind of a screw-up. And they give him this chance to kind of prove himself, and so he does that. And there are a lot of people who grew up with this. I was, I was still young enough that I would have looked at this I could have looked at this as a child, but I didn't see it until I was a teen. So it didn't hit the same way.
Also notable is the film that started to put Macaulay Culkin on the map right before Home Alone came out.
So which John Hughes almost directed Home Alone, but he decided to change his mind and do something else. This, like I said, this is a good one to have. I'm actually glad that I have it in the collection. Now I can do this. Yes, it is more room than this. I mean, yeah, but not by a lot.
And they're shorter, so there's more you can do with them.
So yeah, I am fine with that little expansion. It's not too terrible.
Okay. My last one, I kind of hate going out on just an upgrade, but it is a heck of an upgrade. A movie that came out, actually, I think this may have come out the same year as The Virgin Suicides. No, 2 years later. But I think I saw them at the same theater. And I think it was an art house theater near Regency that's no longer with us. But I could be remembering that wrong. I do know there's a theater that was there that's no longer with us. But
Poor theater.
this is a movie that I had heard a little bit about it when I went to see it, and I think I went to see it just for something a little different, some cultural expansion and whatnot. And I loved it. I freaking loved this movie. I absolutely... And I was very interested in seeing more from the director. I think I kind of bitched out on that ultimately. I haven't seen a lot from this person, but it is a movie that also has a connection to the recent news. That one with the Michael Madsen has that connection. And I was actually caught off guard by this because none of the news that I had seen had made this connection, but one of my coworkers did, and I looked up and I'm like, holy crap, you're right. So, a movie that those of you following the news, and I will refrain from offering too much in the realm of politics here, But there was a election recently in New York City, primary election.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out that the person who won the primary handily, Mr. Mamdani, has a famous parent. The director of this film, Mira Nair, is his mother. And this is the film Monsoon Wedding, which is a film that is in English and Hindi. It is a 2001 film that Nair did about a wedding, and all the stuff that goes along with it. Like, those of you who are vaguely at all familiar with the culture, well, you really don't have to be, because weddings are often big productions.
Especially Indian weddings.
And they certainly were in this one. It is a gorgeous film, very well acted, excellent. I love the music. There's such good music in this one. Very interesting. This does have a decent number of bonus features. Not a great number, but a decent number. But what it does have that is very, very, very interesting is 7 short films by Nair. So there are a lot of movies in this one collection. And this is a major upgrade from the DVD edition that I already had. I'm not a huge fan of the super simplistic cover art. I preferred the cover art on the original DVD. But this takes up less space and it's got a whole lot more on it. Plus, this is the kind of movie where the Blu-ray upgrade absolutely is worth it. Definitely worth checking this one out. But this is one that, again, it's one of those ones that I thought about upgrading for a long time. And I kept meaning to and putting it back. And I finally pulled the trigger. I'm like, I'm doing a crap load of upgrades this time. And I'm glad I finally did. Especially now, I didn't even know I had all those short films. I was like, that's kind of cool.
So, this last one is peak childhood Hanna-Barbera.
Okay.
One I'm sure, even if you haven't watched him, you probably know of him.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there are 33 episodes of this, but I think these are ones that I could watch fairly easily. And that is the Yogi Bear Show.
Oh. Yeah, we know this one.
Which has characters like Snaggletooth. It's like, not only was Yogi Bear introduced on the Huckleberry Hound show, smarter than the average bear, his popularity got him along a sidekick Boo Boo. His own series,
Hey, Boo Boo.
seen here in its fully restored and remastered 33 episode entirety, yeah. I haven't got my my progressive lenses yet, so I still can't read the small print so well. Beloved for his Robin Hood-like antics and endlessly inventive schemes to swipe picnic baskets, as he would say. Yogi is arguably the first outlaw cartoon hero, smarter than the average bear.
Mm-hmm.
Although a comic straight man, Park Ranger Smith, with tireless yet futile attempts to enforce Jellystones do not feed the bears rule, undoubtedly deserves more credit. Fans will also recall the series co-stars Snagglepuss the lion, exit stage right, and Yacky Doodle, the devilishly innocent quackster with famed lament, "I lost my mommy." I don't know how it was said because I don't remember him.
I think I vaguely remember that one.
I mean, Snaggletooth is like, heavens to Megatroid.
Yes.
But yeah, I remember him fairly well. I didn't realize he was in the Yogi Bear show. Now, admittedly, this stuff came out before my time. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm not.
So I'm guessing he was supposed to be sort of an answer to Pink Panther?
Who knows? I mean, this came out probably in the 60s or 70s.
Thereabouts.
When, about that time that Hanna-Barbera was in its main reign, after, of course, the Flintstones. And Hanna-Barbera was known for pioneering a cost-cutting style of animation where you utilize the same frame over and over, and it saved them a ton of money. Now, this was duplicated on many shows, and Yogi Bear is one of the more
61 to 62.
So yeah, so it's kind of cool to have this. Is slightly before my time, by 20 years. But I did watch it growing up because they did recycle a lot of these cartoons. Same way I watched the Flintstones growing up. I did not see the Flintstones when it was originally airing. But I did see the Flintstones growing up. Shoot, I'm sure that you've watched cartoons growing up that aired before your time.
Oh, yeah.
Probably the Flintstones was on that list, actually, because those would have been...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Yogi Bear, I saw Flintstones, and I saw the Jetsons. I think those were probably the ones I usually think of when I think of the Hanna-Barbera that I saw. You know.
I still have a whole bunch left to go with some of these, but I'd like to get Captain Caveman eventually, but that one's out of print and I'm not paying a lot.
Right.
Huckleberry Hound, that show is
I never really saw that.
which debuted Yogi Bear. He's the one where he's like, you know, oh my darling, oh my darling, all that. But they're getting a re-release on Blu-ray for that show. But I don't want to pay $75 for it.
Yeah, right.
But that's it for this time. I hope you've enjoyed this monster pickup. We're probably going to do a smaller one next time.
Right.
But if you enjoyed this, hit that like button. You know you want to. You can't help it.
Hit it.
Subscribe, that would be even better. And share. We do other things on this. So we do some discussions. We do our anime discussions once a month, or animation discussions once a month. And I do reviews when I'm done with my Europe trip. We're almost done with the Europe trip, so we're going to get back into the review cycle in the future. So we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
SeptumSin versus the world. It's that place for all the boys and girls. You'll feel real safe, you'll feel real warm. It's a cozy place to ride out the storm. SeptumSin. SeptumSin and his best boy Jake see the trends that scare us every day. Physical media is going to the side. Doctor streaming will rule the world in time.